Do a really quick build on one of these decks here using some 20 gauge Kanthal or Feckrel wire. Bang it in and yeah, and have a bit of a vape on it. Yeah, so the build I'm going to do today is going to come out to about 0.1. All right, and I'm using, I've got about 4.5 inches of this wire, and I'm going to use a Ude coil jig. This is the equivalent of a 3mm rod in here. Yeah, so this will come. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so there's my coil. These jigs doing pretty well. This is how my wire looks when I take it out of the jig, right? Without straightening it out. This is the bit that was in the actual stem that was inside in the hole here. And because that's already kind of cocked out to the side, so to speak, I'm going to leave that one the way it is and just move it a little bit. I'm not going to kind of get it dead straight, right? I'm going to trim off these. And leave one shorter than the other, okay? It'll make it easier to install. And making sure the screws are loosened up helps as well there. That leg that was kind of cocked out to the side there, that's helped me get my kind of natural bend in. And I'm going to do the outside, the negative screw first, tighten that down. Oops. I'll just gently move that over. Okay. So I'll trim off the excess. Same here, the one that's jutting out to the side, I'm going to leave that as the negative leg. And I'm just going to line up the positive right here in the middle and see how much I need to take off so it doesn't pass through the hole here and touch the other coil. Okay, so I've trimmed that off there. Should fit in there quite okay. And it does. Is it touching the other side? Nope, we're good. So just get that up to about the same height as the other one. Just gradually move it over so that it's in the middle. Nice and slow, it'll all move. It's Kanthal, it bends. I'll clamp down the negative post again. Just give it a little jut over. And we have this little bit extra here. So that's a bog standard kind of 3-post pin. The resistance on this, if I fire it up, is 0.1. Okay, that might go up, might go down. If you're not into 0.1, use 22 gauge wire. Do 6 wraps, it'll take you up to between 0.17 to 2 ohms. Okay, you can use 4 to try and get lower, but I don't recommend building lower than this. Unless you really know what you're doing, then don't listen to me if you really know what you're doing. Right, so next, if you have this on your mod or whatever you've actually put the deck on, we're just going to fire it up and make sure everything's connecting here. So I've turned this on, my little building deck charger here, my Coilmaster 521 tab that I love building on. So I'm just going to pulse this, which just means basically pressing the button on and off. And I'm just pulsing these coils to get the current flowing through them. And I want them to eventually be glowing red inside out. I want to get rid of hot spots and little areas where it's not passing through correctly. That's not going to give you good vape life. So I'm going to strum, okay? And strumming is you just pulse it, let go, and then just strum the coil with a screwdriver or a rod or something metal. I'll do it again. Right, finger off the fire button. if you strum this while you're firing it, you will short out the build. Wouldn't recommend it. So now that's almost where I wanted, glowing from the inside out. Strumming just, it makes sure there's perfect equal kind of distance between each little bit, so to speak. It helps the current pass through. So this one here, I just want to shape it a little bit better. And you want to be a little rough but a little gentle at the same time, because you don't want it to pop out. I'm just going to check my connections again and make sure they're nice and tight. Sometimes maneuvering the coils around and heating them up and stuff, the resistance can change. So let's see what we're at now. We're still at 0.1. Okay, so that's 5 wraps, 22 gauge Kanthal or Feckrol wire, around a 3mm rod or screwdriver bit. Let's let this sucker cool down and then we'll put some cotton into it, alright? Yeah. Am I using cotton bacon, or what kind of cotton am I using? I'm using bog standard, cheap as hell, Japanese organic cotton, okay? And this is one of these thin pads that you can buy a huge big bag of 200 of them for a couple of pounds. If I do find where I got it, I'll put a link in the description if they're still selling it. Right, so this is, you can see the way this is sandwiched, okay? We're going to cut it this way. What I like to do with this cotton, right, is obviously you run against the grain here, right? So I'm going to take about 1/5 of this off, okay? That's more like a quarter, but all right. I'm going to take that much off and get rid of it, okay? And with the rest of this, I'm going to peel off the top and the bottom layer. And I'm just left with the all the fluffy, squidgy cotton that's in the middle of this, because it's kind of sandwiched in these pads. The outside layer is not fluffy at all. All right, so I'm left with that, which looks kind of thin, but it's grand. We can work with it. So cut that down the middle. Okay. And just kind of wisp it together if you have bits out. And hold the one end and the other end and just twist them. You can see it all fluffs out when you do that. Twist them so you got one end like that, one end like that, and you can just kind of move it along so it's nice and together. Pretty easy, right? Same with this here, just grab one end and the other, pinch it, and just give it a little twist. One way, and then the other, and then the other, and the other, and the other. Don't pull it tight, just keep it held like that. And the same, just whisper. Look, got nice fluffy cotton. Yeah. Okay, let's lash it in. At this stage, my coils are cooled down and stuff, so it's absolutely fine, absolutely time to install this cotton. There's a small juice well on these battle decks, okay? So you're not going to get much cotton into them at all, okay? So I'm just going to the very side of the actual deck and clipping it there. Again, yeah. And then just work it in. And then we just juice up. So put some juice over the coil, let it soak in. Juice over the other coil, let it soak in. Repeat that, just a little bit on the sides. Okay, now I'm just going to give it a fire to make sure it's working. that there's a connection and it's all coming out and all's good. And also, when you're doing a build, the first build in the deck, and you wick it for the first time, when you fire it, the heat is attracting all the juice out. So you can put a little bit more before you go and vape, because it's still drawing juice up from the cotton. This is all helping. So there we go. So yeah, you put a cap on that and we're ready to go. I'm talking about the caps in the next video, by the way. Any links I have, I'll try and put in the description of the video. But the thing with clones is they discontinue them, or another factory makes them and stuff. So it's never a direct link all the time. And I know people hit me up and say, hey, you showed me, you did this video, you put a link, I bought it, mine doesn't look like yours. No, I have no control over the one that you end up getting. I can only tell you where I got mine from and hope that you get a good one too. So, yeah, so that's the build that I put on the deck, right? I have it right here in my HK Comp Life mod. I'm all matchy matchy. Now, I really like these caps because they give off a lot of flavor. Like this, the little cutout hole, right? The airflow on this, for me, is just the perfect amount of airflow. I love it. I get so much flavor out of it. I have enough room in here that I can drip straight through the tip if I need to, but also just taking it off is just easy. It's just on, off. There's no moving parts. I'm not upsetting any airflow rings or things like this. Or it's just, you know, it goes straight on. And, you know, the best thing, I'm going to talk about them in the next video, is these caps. They don't get hot. They don't get hot. The walls of these are so thick, they just don't get hot. Killer flavor. The deck is a beast. It's tough as hell. The posts are tough, you know, and it delivers. So thanks a lot for watching the video. As always, if you liked it, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Take care, good luck, and bye-bye.